Hey kitties, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we're doing a story time, and this is actually this is my very first story time. So you guys are probably like, she got shot at? What? Well, yes, you read it right. I got shot at. So this is the story about it. The outcome of this could have been like tragic, and you know, it kind of makes you count your blessings, you know? It's kind of funny. There's some funny like parts to it, like you gotta laugh things off. And it wasn't just one situation, it was more than one situation, you know, in one night. So it's definitely, you know, a pretty somewhat crazy, intense story. Of course, you have to be there, but use your imagination, guys, all right? So put on your little imagination caps on, and I'm gonna try and like play this out for you to where you can imagine it happening as much as possible. I'm a pretty, shit, I'm like drawing a blank right now. Oh, animated, there we go. I'm gonna try and describe it as best as possible. It's such a long story, but I'm gonna try and shorten it up because I don't want this video to be like 300 minutes long. There's a lot of pieces to this puzzle, all right? So this was a time that I went to Lawrence, Massachusetts. What up, Lordstown? If anybody from Lawrence is watching, love you guys. Shout out to Lawrence. So it takes place in Lawrence, Massachusetts. A little bit about myself. I was partly raised in Lawrence, Massachusetts when I was younger. I was born in Miami, and at the age of 1, about to be 2, we moved to Lawrence, Massachusetts. And I was there for a few years, and then I would always go back. Like, we'd go back for Christmases and summers. And then once I graduated from high school, I started going back to Lawrence because my dad's family, most of them all live there. So this is where it takes place, and there is 5 characters to this story, all right? First character being Moa over here, okay? Second one would be my cousin Nani. And then third is Jari. And fourth is Jay. And fifth is Mizelle, prima. So these are my girls, okay? And then my cousin Nani, she's like my sister. So it's 5 of us, and I had just flown in to Lawrence, and I was there for like about a week. So that night, I remember it was a Saturday night, and we went to the club. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Rio's that we went to on a Saturday night. Girls, if you're watching, correct me if I'm wrong. So we went there. You know, it was Saturday, it was lit. Like, we wanted to go party, so we went, we partied, we went to the club, and then after the club, there's always after parties, you know? Especially like in Lawrence, Lowell, there's usually like after parties after the club. So sometimes you'll go to one, sometimes you'll go to multiple ones. Keep up with me, guys. So my girl Jay is dating this guy, right? And he had invited us over to wherever he was at. So we went there, and that was the first after party. So we go there, we're chilling. I guess Jay's ex, crazy ex, okay? Let's say that. Crazy AF. So we're at Jay's like boo things, like after party. We're there. And then her ex calls, and I don't know what happened with like the conversation because we weren't really there. She just told us about it when she got off the phone. And basically she got a phone call. I don't know, whatever happened. Her boo thing, you know, got the phone, let him know what's up. And I don't know, I guess they exchanged words. And then Jay's boo like told him, oh, I'm in such a street, you know, come see me on the block, whatever. That was it. Like, they got off the phone. Like, she was just like, oh, he was just like talking shit. You know, he let him know, like, what's up. That was it. We go upstairs, we're chilling. Well, we were getting ready to leave and we were gonna go to another after party. So my cousin Nani, Jody, and myself, we go downstairs. And we're waiting for my girl Mazel and Jay upstairs. So all of a sudden, like, we're just chilling downstairs and we're just talking. And I remember, like, looking over to my right and there was, like, a stop sign. And it wasn't, like, we weren't too far from the stop sign. But we were close to where we could, like, see if there was, like, a car and, like, what car it was. Like, we could see clearly. Like, it wasn't far. Like, I wish I was good with, you know, like, how many yards or feet there, you know, away. But I'm just not. Imagine it close enough to where you could visibly see what kind of car is looking at you. And it's nighttime, okay? This has to be, like, around maybe 3 a.m. now. And we're down there, and I look over to the right, and I see this car. And so I peeped it, and I'm like, oh, you know, whatever. And I remember it being a silver Honda. I will never forget it. And I even remember, like, what we all had on that day. So I look over, you know, I'm just like, okay, we keep talking. And then I so happen to look over again, and I still see that car there. Like, it's been posted at that stop sign for a minute now. So I'm like, okay, it could be somebody that's drunk or whatever. But we are in Lawrence. And when a car is just posted up at the stop sign, you're not just going to sit there and be like, oh, you know, they're just chilling there. Oh, you know, like, they're probably lost. No. You better be aware of your surroundings. You better know what is going on and where you're going and what is happening. Situational awareness is definitely very important because you just never know. It's not like the safest area either. So yes, there is drive-bys and shit like that. So all of a sudden I see that car and I'm like, okay, that car is like posted up for a while. But I'm just thinking this to myself. I don't know if the girls have noticed yet. I didn't want to sound like I was paranoid or something. So whatever, like, I think they ended up noticing like a few minutes after. They're like, oh, that car's been there for a while, but whatever. You know, we kept talking, and then we see them and they turned, whatever, they left. I look over again to my right and I see the same car there. Mind you, I was not drunk to the point where I was imagining stuff. Like, we had a few drinks, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm so shit-faced, I see a car and I see it again. No. I was very coherent. I like looked over and I see the car, and then the girls, they also noticed, and they're like, damn, that car's really been there for a minute, like a hot minute. So we're kind of looking over, but we don't want to make it look too obvious, like we're staring at the car, you know? We're kind of like looking over and we're talking, but not making it look so noticeable. And then all of a sudden, like, we kind of just like stopped talking about like the car there, and we started talking about something else. And like, we're standing there and we weren't like paying attention. All of a sudden we hear boom, 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 3 shots fired. Oh my gosh. Like, literally, I swear my heart was in my ass, okay? Like, my heart dropped, and the only thing that I could yell out was duck. Like, I just told the girls to duck, and like, we were like, we screamed. Like, it was scary. Like, we're like, what the fuck just happened? Like, we hear the first one, but then 2 come right after. It was crazy. I think about it now, like, you don't realize it then because of the adrenaline and the shock of it all, but it was like your life flashes like through your something. So we're running towards like the cars, like behind the cars, because if we ran towards the left, you know, we don't know if we're gonna continue like to get shot at, you feel me? Like that's where the building was at, like the entrance, but you had to keep walking through to get to like the porch and then go upstairs. So we're not gonna run that way. So we ran to like behind the cars or wherever we could, but we didn't want to get hit or anything like that. It was so crazy because I didn't know where everybody went. Like we ducked and we just ran. And as those 3 shots like fired, like we're all kind of like scrambling around like looking for each other. And there comes, you know, Jay, Mazel, her boo, his boys. And like they came downstairs and they're like, oh my gosh, what the fuck was that? Are you guys okay? Like it was so crazy. And we're like, what the fuck? Like that was 3 shots fired. Okay? That shit was not cute. Not cute. So the guys are asking if we're okay. They're like, what happened? We just told them. And all of a sudden, you know, Jay like stops and was just like, yo, I know who the fuck it was. So she was like, let's go. We gotta go. We gotta go right now. We hop in the car. She gets on the phone. And she calls her ex. Because she's like, that was my fucking ex. And we were just like, really? You have to be fucking kidding me. So she realizes, like, I know she was so angry because she's like, those shots were at my girls. 1. Probably those shots were either it was meant for us, it was meant for her, but it was definitely meant to scare her. And one thing I could say, and I love my girls for this, like, at that time and still, like, when we're together, like, we are fearless. Fearless when we're together. Like, all of us. Because that's just who we were. Especially at that time. Like, we were malditas locas. Like, seriously, crazy ass locas. She was like, I'm gonna go find him. I'm gonna find him right now. I know that it's him. She's like, he's gonna meet us. She's like, and I want him to tell me that it wasn't him. She wanted to believe deep down inside that it wasn't him, but she knew that it was him. You know, how could it not be him? Especially she knows him. Apparently, he is fucking crazy. And yes, he is, because he proved it that night. Not even just crazy, more than anything, he's like straight coward. Like, he is just like what you would call a fuckboy, okay? Because what he did was just completely like out of pocket. Like, so out of pocket that like it's mind-boggling now that I think about it. So he did it to scare her, but she was just like, you're not gonna scare me. Like, I don't give a shit. You're not gonna scare me. So we were like, oh, so it was him. And we were just so heated. Like, I remember just being so angry. Like, where is he? And let's find out if he did it or not. So she tells him, I need you to meet me on such and such street. She's like, where are you? What car are you driving? What car are you in? He doesn't want to tell her what car he's in. He was like, oh, like he was trying to like dodge her, but she knew. So she's like, yo, just meet me. Like, she's like, you just shot at my girls. And he was like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I was going to call him something, but I'm already like cussing every 2 seconds because when I cuss, it's because I'm just passionate about like what I'm speaking. And I cuss like a sailor. So, fun fact about me, definitely I cuss like a sailor. So he's denying it. He's straight denying it. Like, ¿cómo tú puedes negar eso? Like, how? How can you lie about that? Please tell me. So he's like, no, I didn't do that, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, okay, well then meet me at this place. What car you driving? What car are you in? Why can't you tell me? He's like, okay, fine. So he meets her on the street that she tells him to meet her. And she's just like, I can't believe him. He tried to shoot at my girls, this and this and that. And at the end of the day, like, I know, like, the way that Jay is, like, I know she was just like, damn, I can't believe he did this. Like, that could have been for me, but the way that she was so angry that, you know, the safety of her girls was in jeopardy because of, you know, this stupid ass. We were ready to ride. Like, we were ready to ride, and we were ready to just, like, have her back no matter what, because she proved to have our back. And we were like, okay. So we meet him. We get there. She pulls up. And the way, like, if you know up north, a lot of, like, the parking, how it is over there, is it's all parallel parking. So the streets are really narrow, and then there's cars, you know, parked on the sides of, like, the sidewalk. So I remember us pulling up, and we pulled up on the right side. And he was across, like, that street in front of, like, a building. And we didn't see him come out of a car. There was no car around. We didn't know. So he said he got dropped off. So I'm sure he did get dropped off, or his boys were fucking lurking somewhere, you know, where we couldn't see them. And this street, like, now when we meet him, it's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. There's, like, no one on the street, really, you know, and it's a Saturday night. So we pull up, we meet up with him. She gets off the car immediately. She goes ham on him. She just starts to go off. As soon as she starts to go off, he gets loud. He's in her face. And then my cousin gets out of the car, and she, like, runs up on him, and she's, like, talking shit to him too. He starts to get loud with my cousin. I jump out of the car, and I'm like, oh, you're not going to talk to my cousin like that? You're not going to talk to my friend? Da-da-da-da. We're just, like, going crazy. So then Jody gets out the car behind me. As soon as I get out, Jody gets out, like, at the same time. We are literally in his face, like, 4 females. Like, we were going in, like, we were in his face. We were yelling. We were cussing at him. Like, okay, I am short. Like, I'm 5'1". My cousin Nani's like 5 feet. Jay's like around the same height. Jody is freaking 5'10". She's mad tall. Then Mizelle is like 5'11", 6 feet. I don't know. This girl is tall, okay? She's mad tall. We were like freaking lions on him. We were just like going crazy, ready to attack. And so he's going off, he's talking shit, blah, 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 blah. Back and forth. He was like, oh, you know what? Y'all need to just get the fuck out of my face, unless you want to know what's popping. He literally pulled up his shirt and fucking pointed a pistol at us. Like, straight up in our faces. When he did that, I was just like, you have to be fucking kidding me. And when I tell you, we were fearless. Any other person, you would think that we would have just been like, gotten scared or whatever. No. That adrenaline was pumping on 1,000. And we were not backing down. Like, it was just like, oh, so you just done confirmed it. You confirmed that you literally shots fired at us. And you're going to deny it. But now you're going to pull out a pistol at us like a little fuckboy? Really? Really? Like a pendejito? Really? Oh, okay. I see you. Oh, I think about it now and like I laugh of how we were. But when he did that, we were like, oh, so you want to pull out a pistol at us? Oh, so you want to pull out your piece on us? Then we realized, like, this guy has a freaking gun on him. What the fuck are we doing? Why? Us 4. Like, what are we gonna do? He could have shot us all and then just been like, deuces, bye. Nobody would have known except one person, which is our witness. And I'll tell you about her in a second, okay? So that happens and we're just like, okay, fall back. We got you. I see you. That was it. We were like, fuck it, let's just go, let's leave. So he leaves and we just go back to the car and we're gonna get in the car. And when we go back, we're like, espérate. ¿Dónde está Mizelle? Okay, where is Mizelle at? Mizell, okay, when I said we were going ham on him, it was 4 of us, okay? It was Jody, it was Jay, my cousin Nani, and me, okay? Us 4. Mizell was nowhere to be found, okay? She might have been like the smart one, I think. And when that happened and we all got out the car, Mizell got off of the car, and this girl literally, like, she was behind the car. When we got back to the car and we were like, where's Mizell? Mizell was hiding behind the car. This girl was literally under the car. She was literally almost under the car. And we're just like, you have to be kidding me right now. She was just like, I was not trying to get shot at. She's like, I was not trying to die today. So if we would have died, Mizell would have been the only one to tell the fucking story, because us freaking 4 ran up on there and she literally hid. She was like, I was not gonna die. If it wasn't for Mizell, I'm going to tell you this, like, Mizell lightened up the whole situation, because at that point, after going through so much adrenaline, you're literally in shock, you're angry, you're like, I can't even believe this. Your pride, your ego, your like, your heart, your mind, like, everything, you're just like, what happened? And how can this person do this to us? Like, why would you do this to us? So Mizell made light of it, and, you know, we definitely were laughing. You know, then we get in the car, and she, like, you know, she was shocked too that all happened, you know. And then we get in the car, and my cousin all of a sudden, like, gets mad nauseous, and she starts to throw up. So not as you guys know, but you guys probably know that, like, when traumatic or, like, shocking things like that happen to you or to someone, like, sometimes, like, it literally, like, your heart, like, goes to your stomach, and your stomach literally doesn't know what to do with itself. It gets so nervous and so, like, I don't know, like, it just happens to people. And she, like, got so nauseous, she threw up, and she was like, what the fuck, you know? She was just so shocked that we just went through that stuff, you know? So after all that happened, you know, Mizell makes light of, you know, the whole situation, and she starts to make up a remix about not dying, getting shot. And she made a remix to one of the Aventura songs. Like, I can't remember the song from Aventura that it was, but she made the ill remix, and she made us laugh. And she, you know, like, kind of, like, just made us forget about, like, what really happened, and instead of being angry, just, like, smile. And in the end, like, I'm glad that she did that for us, because it made us just laugh and just be like, you know, why be angry? You know, girl, you just got shot at, you better be smiling, you know, and you're alive. And we decided, okay, we're not gonna let this ruin our night. We're gonna continue to have our fun. So we went to another after party, and we partied there till, I don't know, like, maybe probably like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and then went home and slept for a few hours, and then got up and decided to go chill again. So that was my crazy story. And yeah, I don't know, like, I don't know if any of you have had an experience like that, but it was definitely crazy and intense. This happened like probably 10, 11 years ago, and we laugh about it now. Like, I was texting my girl Jody the other day, and I told her, I was like, hey, I'm gonna do a story time. Remember that one time that we got shot at? She's like, girl, how could I forget that, you know? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna talk about it, you know, like, I'm gonna talk about you guys and whatnot. And she's like, oh, don't forget to talk about Mizell. I was like, oh, girl, she was hiding behind the car. So that is, like, you know, a joke that we still remember. Like, even though it was, like, if I really think about it, I don't think about, you know, the bad part of that night. I try to think about, like, the good part. So with that being said, you know, you think about life, honestly. I'm gonna get a little deep on you guys now. With life, you go through ups and downs, You have good memories, you have bad memories. That's what makes life so interesting. And that's what makes the good stuff and the positive stuff and the great times and the great memories so memorable. But you also have the bad moments. Yes, those are memorable, but sometimes you always got to outweigh the positive, you know, more than the negative. And we're all going to go through positive and negative things. We're all going to go through some shit in life that is going to mold you into the person that you are and the person who you will continue to be and grow to be as well. So, just honestly appreciate life. Be thankful, be grateful that you are alive, that you are blessed with what you are blessed with. So just remember, like, you know, laugh a lot. You know, if you cry, cry. And just appreciate life. And, you know, appreciate, like, the good times. And even though that night was crazy, I can still sit here and say it was a scary moment to that night, or moments, but it wasn't an awful night. It wasn't like a horrible night. It was an amazing night because we created memories. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for your support, kitties. You know that your support means the world to me, okay? El mundo. Significa el mundo para mí. Thank you so much to my girls. I love you guys so much. Thank you for amazing memories that we created. But near or far, I want you guys to know that you guys are always very, very near and dear to my heart. We may not talk all the time, but I know that when we get together, we pick up right where we left off. So do not forget to subscribe. So por favor, suscriban a mi canal. Los aprecio mucho. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see my kitties very, very soon. Love you.